Russell, who they gave all these prizes to and Nobel Prizes to, how they'd set up a world government, how they put chemicals in the food and water to sterilize us and make us servile, how they used sports to divert us, how they would then have a nuclear war, maybe a giant bioweapons release to destroy what was left of the old civilization, and the elites would reemerge from their underground bases. This is the type of stuff that they openly talk about, and then I see them implementing so much of it, and their whole world is about getting this in place. And you sit here, and you're aware of all this, and you just want to warn people. I mean, Aaron Dykes still, every week, buys books written by these people and reads them and comes running to me saying, here it is, here it is. My gosh, I thought you were exaggerating about this. Here they are. And until now, Aaron, on the case of eugenics and things, has probably read more books on it and more literature by them than I have. He's just been here 6 years. And he's always coming to me now going, oh, my gosh, it's worse than you said. That's right. It's worse than I said. It's out in the open because they think you're dumb and aren't reading what they write and what they do. And if you think, you get married at 19, your wife dies at 30 of cancer, or you think having a deformed baby is good, or you think, having half the kids on your block having gut disorders or neurological disorders. I mean, if you think them killing us is fun and cute and cool, then, hey, then I can't help you. People are like, well, then why are you still alive? If they'd kill all these people, why are you still alive? Because they do all this stuff through processes, so that there's giant boards and interlocking directorates where hundreds of globalists at the top, thousands beneath that layer, tens of thousands and then hundreds of thousands all sign on, just like they get you into welfare and get you compromised into the system, or you're a defense contractor or you get government contracts. They trick you into being part of the system, being dependent. At the higher levels, they have this shared plausible deniability is what they call it. And so they have the technocratic system rolling, and if something's good for that system, then it's agreed upon and moves forward. They work with each other to divide up the spoils because it's the goal that matters with these people. They stick together better than we do, in fact, a lot better, because they're bound together by their love of absolute evil. I mean, they got somebody pulling the strings. These people are instruments. They're vessels. You don't even believe in God, whatever, the color out of space, some dark energy. They are bound. They are energized, okay? They're excited about what they're doing. I mean, I'm not talking about their low-level minions that are just drones. Mid-level, high-level, they are animated. They enjoy it. They like what they're doing. They get excited about it. Excited about kids dying horrible deaths. Excited about drones and napalm burning children. Excited. They don't care when their kids die and their wife dies. It's all just a vampiric orgy. And so it's all, I was talking to Steve Pachinik, Dr. Pachinik, who we ought to get back on, who was, wrote the book on psychological warfare for the State Department, CIA, ran assassinations overseas, co-wrote some of the books with Tom Clancy, made a lot of big movies. Pretty famous guy. Nobody knows what he looks like, you notice. And we need to try to get Pachinik back on. He was irritated. I didn't want to hold like 15 minutes once and he hung up. Point is Pachinik, I go, yeah, he goes, yeah, you got a lot of courage off air. And I said, oh, not really. But I do wonder sometimes they're going to kill me. And he goes, well, that's probably too much paperwork. He goes, and I mean, that's what it comes down to. The system doesn't do anything unless at the very highest levels it's been authorized. And somebody like a Rockefeller or somebody, they're just going to count on the public's weakness when we talk about all these things to not go check it, not go look it up. Or they'll just have Nightline and CNN say I'm a kook and Salon say I'm a kook. That's what they just kill your name. They just kill your credibility, they believe. Plus, I've gotten my message out. I've transmitted my information. So if they kill me, it makes it evergreen, gold, underlined, makes it prophetic. Puts exclamation points behind it. But that tells you about how they work. They've got to create a consensus. They've got to get all these boards and countries to sign off on the bombarding Libya and putting Al-Qaeda in. And then everybody can just say, well, the community decided. Oh, well, the community of nations decided to sterilize people all over the world. So you can't go grab one of them by the neck. That's how these big banks work. And that's why they love drones. They're now giving medals to the people that kill folks. And they say it's okay to kill 200 innocents and kill one person we claim is a terrorist, violating international law in just random countries everywhere. And then now they're saying they'll do it to us here. But don't worry, there's no drones. But there is drones. We're going to kill you, NDAA. But they're not. See, they talk to you like you're an idiot. And if you act like an idiot, I guess it means you are an idiot. It's time to really have disdain for these people and realize how dangerous they are and how mentally ill they are. I mean, we got a shipload of devils running things. And there's never enough for them on any fronts. That's what I want to get across. Now, they may set me up and kill me. I mean, they've tried before. They've got agencies that do that. They send the FBI out to all your events over the years, or you're out of town and a guy comes up to you at the bar. It's obviously the build of a former military person, 45-year-old FBI agent. You know they're FBI immediately. You're sitting there ordering your hamburger at the hotel bar, drinking a beer, and it's, hey, man, I tell you, this government makes me mad. We ought to kill some judges. I like to say kill judges because they know judges will get mad then and go ahead with a warrant and stuff for you when you go, hey, they're saying kill judges. It's all to manipulate judges. And you just look at them and you're like, oh, really? I'm not for violence. I mean, this has probably happened to me 50 times. You're on the hike and bike trail and stop. And they're waiting where you've parked and are waiting. Oh, hey, Alex Jones, I'm a fan. It's like, oh, this is a... Even one time I was down at the governor's mansion protesting when Bush was in. He'd become president-elect, and they were all contesting the election. And I could even tell what type of military they were. They had as private security Navy SEALs, but the little type. Their favorite ones are like these little 5'6" guys. And I could just look at them, their bearing, their confidence, the fact they were not trying to look confident. And I was like, it's illegal for Navy SEALs to be out here. And one of them looked at me and he goes, how in the world do you know that? And started laughing. Because I'm awake, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it's not hard. When you've had a Green Beret jump out of the bushes and start setting fires to things to blame it on you, you learn what they look like real quick. I've been doing this 17 years, really 19, but on air 17. I've been around. I've seen it. So let me just give everybody a news flash. The New World Order is real and then some, okay? The whole thing's a devil run. Whether you believe the devil or not, it might as well be devil run because it's something the devil would come up with and then some. And I'm done talking about it. I'm ranting. Let's go to Nick in Connecticut. Nick, you're on the air. Welcome. Okay, Nick doesn't want to talk. Chantel in Florida, you're on the air.
Hi, how are you?
I'm pretty good. Go ahead and speak up.
So I'm a first-time caller and a first-time listener. My boyfriend introduced me to you, quite frankly, and you know what? You're right. A lot of people aren't informed. I'm 21 years old, and I live in Miami, and not a lot of people around here know what's going on. So my question to you, I've seen a couple of your documentaries already, and I want to know, what do you think is going to happen next? What do you think is going to... Who's the next person to go down? Who do you think? I want to know. I mean, I love being informed, and I want to get your opinion specifically because you've been around this for so long. And it's somewhat of a predictable behavior, but I would only ask this to somebody who knows. So what do you think is going to be the next step?
The next step depends on good and evil, heaven and hell, right and wrong, justice and tyranny. It's what we do individually, praying, but also taking action in little ways and in big ways. Little things lead to big things. And if we can speak and shout and email and call into talk radio and get the word out enough that we know about false flag, we know about the New World Order, we know about Fast and Furious, we may be able to back the globalist off. But even if they go ahead with a nuke going off and trying to arrest people and taking over the telecommunications or whatever the case is, or starting a real hot war with Russia, the fact that we at least got in a posture of being aware, warned as many as we could, when this hits us and things go dark, there will be seeds of information left there. So we're going into the storm, batten down the hatches, in a posture of being able to take it. And that is at least better. So, and taking it as a challenge and trying to live up to the mark that our ancestors set. That's what life is all about. And quite frankly, it's very not entertaining, but these people talk about life's boring. That's because they're watching television all day and into mainstream things that are meant to make you hollow and vapid. You start getting into the real world, folks, and people say they're depressed. They ought to go join a entry-level boxing or kickboxing and get beat up a bunch, but get better at it. You're not going to be depressed anymore when you start getting endorphins flowing. You should start hiking mountains in your area. You should start, whatever it is. Go out to Southern California and go pay if you got the money to go dive in a cage with great whites or something. Get outside of your comfort zone. Get out there and live. When somebody smarts off to you at a store or restaurant, not getting angry, but getting back in their face if you've always been a meek person. Living is what it's all about. Getting past fear. When you're depressed, your body is saying, I'm not happy with what you're eating, how you're sleeping, what you're doing. But most of the time, it's not even physical. It's that you're not living the life with the potential you had. And it's a spiritual decision. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I do. I totally agree. And because of that, because I started informing myself and I started doing my research, I actually ran into something that I thought of you, actually, when I ran into this. Have you heard of a movement called the Deep Green Resistance Movement?
Say that again?
Have you heard of a movement called the Deep Green Resistance?
Is that Deep 3 Resistance?
Green resistance. This is a movement of people who believe that society should be taken down and civilization should be shut down 100%. And it's because it should all go back into Mother Earth. I went into the convention and being informed about this, and I was completely shocked by what I was hearing from these their kids. They think that our system's corrupt and that the humans, we're the ones doing everything, and we should all be taken down because of Mother Earth. What do you think about that? Yeah,
for whatever reason, I'm half deaf in this ear, literally, and for whatever reason, I'm missing what. Oh, Deep Green Resistance.
Yeah,
let me type that in.
Resistance.
Hold on just a second.
What do you think about them?
Well, I know about similar groups. Here's what happens. For every reaction, there's an opposite reaction. So the system tries to create fake counter-revolutions. They point out all the problems with the industrial society. It's a declaration from the Aboriginal Women's Action Network. Yeah, I know about that. It's basically liberation theology, communism. So, yes, I am aware of this group. I just didn't know about the particular paper you were talking about that they put out. And they have a lot of well-meaning people, actually, at the low-level communist socialist level, because there are a lot of real things they're pointing out, but their solution is all foundation funded to say industrial society is the problem, not dirty industrial society. Or men are the problem, not the system destroying men and women. Or they say, we've got to go back to a post-industrial world. Funny, that's what Goldman Sachs is funding. Where they're in industrial command bases, reservations, and we are in a post-industrial system. That is their entire model. And so they sell it from the top and below. Like Cass Sunstein says at the White House, cognitive infiltration. They know stuff that's seen as establishment has no credibility. So they come in and make establishment stuff be packaged as anti-establishment. And yes, that's what they're doing. They're saying, oh,